What's up, guys? This is Matt with Flagstaff Camera, and today we're going to talk about the C.L.A, what it is and why you should care. So, old cameras, right? Some of them are older than others. Some of them appear to work great the day that you buy them, and sometimes you buy one knowing like, maybe this one needs a little bit of love. What you would call TLC, most people in the camera industry call a C.L.A, right? Clean, lube, and adjust. And basically we recommend that every used camera gets a thorough C.L.A pretty much as soon as you get it. You can get by for a while thinking, oh yeah, no, it works great, it's perfect, I bought it on eBay, it's at an excellent plus condition. Yeah, but if it hasn't been CLA'd, how do you know? So what happens is, sometimes you'll get lubricant that's actually an adhesive, or you'll get springs that just need to be replaced or they're failing, or sometimes you'll get a circuit board that needs to be resoldered, whatever. There's all kinds of issues with these cameras, and sometimes they'll come on slowly, and sometimes it'll just out of nowhere, your camera's totally hosed. So what we do when I buy a camera for myself, I will inspect it, and we've got a different video, we've talked about that in the past. And once I'm reasonably sure that it's not totally foobar right off the bat, I'll put a roll of film through it, see how it does, and then immediately send it out for a CLA. I will basically go on eBay and find somebody who's got good reviews doing CLAs of that specific camera. For instance, if I'm going to send this Mamiya off, I'm not going to send it to somebody who does everything all the time necessarily. Typically, I'll look for a Mamiya specialist, and in this case, a Mamiya TLR specialist. If we're going to send a Nikon off, you'll usually be able to find, like, there's probably one dude who does the Nikons, right? And that's his shtick. He has them, he knows where the spare parts are, or he can cannibalize another body to fix yours. Typically, there will be some parts that are replaced, but there's always going to be cleaning and lubrication involved. You can try it yourself. I really don't recommend it. The forums, the internet forums are full of people who have attempted a CLA themselves. They get the camera into a zillion pieces all over the place and then realize, oh no, there's no way this is going back together. And they're right, because it's really hard. You have to really know what you're doing. You have to know the camera. I stay out of it. It's one of the reasons we don't do any camera repair is you have to know what you're doing, and you have to be able to go slow, and you have to have a source of spare parts. You have to know where the manuals are. All that stuff is really tricky. So we don't do any of that here. We send everything out. All of my personal cameras get CLA'd when I purchase them. Sometimes if I'm going to sell one, I'll send it off for a CLA just to make sure if it hasn't been done recently, once a decade or so, send a camera off just for a clean, lube, and adjust. eBay is a good place to find them. Various camera stores often will have someone that they work with who is a generalist or maybe who's a specialist in a specific kind of camera. It depends. But CLA, highly recommended. Look into it for any cameras that you've purchased recently or any cameras that are freaking out. Like this one needs to go out again because the shutter's sticking. Story of my life. Anyway, questions, comments, concerns, or more importantly, if you have a source for someone who does really good CLAs for any camera, anything you've had serviced, put that in the comments. As far as I can tell, there's no real resource on the internet like, oh, this guy does the Hasselblads, this guy does Mamiyas, these folks over here do the Nikons, whatever it is. If you have connections with people you've actually worked with, drop that in the comments, and hopefully we can all learn a little bit from each other. Anyway, till the next time, see ya.